Well guys, I'm back. Thanks to Shadowplay, you've probably now just missed what is, in my opinion, like the most entertaining 5 minutes of me building anything in Fallout ever, because I just looked down at the Shadowplay logo and saw there's a red cross across it, which means you can't record anything. And now at this point, you guys are probably like, why the fuck are you still using Shadowplay? Because you complain about it in every Fallout episode and everything else you record. Because Shadowplay is better than everything else available, it just has many issues. One of them being the fact it just decides, oh, you can no longer save anything to your hard drive despite there being 70 gigabytes free on it. That bit I don't quite understand. If it was like, oh, you've got 10 gigabytes free, I'm not going to take any up in case you want to use that for RAM. Like, no, I'm good. I'm real good RAM-wise. And then you've just decided, nope, yeah, you can't save anything, you've got 70 gigs free, mate, that's not enough. But I've turned it off and on again and now I can save stuff. So, Shadowplay is just a temperamental bitch, essentially, is what I've learned from this. But I decided to go with a Institute theme for the room, essentially. Got the Institute bed, the Institute table, the Institute dresser, and then I have this shelf which came across a weird thing where I essentially said that Fallout had a tiny penis, but you know, you guys are never going to hear any of that. You're never going to find out what the joke was, or any of that stuff, because it's all gone. All gone. Lost in the wind. Thanks to Shadowplay. So, if you guys want to go and complain to the video for me, that'd be great. No, I'm fine. It's just part of dealing with it, I guess. It's just a pain in the arse. Because I genuinely... Honestly, I think I probably just had the most fun I've ever had building anything in Fallout for like the past 5 minutes. And I was laughing, I was joking about a whole bunch of other shit, and you guys are never going to hear any of that now because of Shadowplay. And it's my choice to use it, so it's as much my fault that you guys are never going to hear that as it is that Shadowplay is useless. But the thing is, half the time Shadowplay isn't useless, so I'm going to keep using it, and it's just being a dick occasionally. So, I mean... I don't know. I'm kind of just undecided at this point. It's like, maybe I should go use something else, because Shadowplay is occasionally useless. But then I look at it and I'm like, well, Fraps would drop my frame rate in half, recording anything, because that's how Fraps works. If I go and use other recording software, it then primarily takes stuff off of my hard drive speed, which, as much as my hard drive's good, it's not the best thing available, and I would quite like to upgrade my hard drive when I can. But, you know, there's not really another option that works as well as Shadowplay for me. But I can't, like, just the irritation that Shadowplay brings when it's just like, yeah, you can't record, mate. It's not even like there isn't other space on my computer. I know it's not going to automatically change to it itself, and I'd have to do it manually. But I'd be perfectly fine with, in the middle of recording, have to go, oh, okay, I'm going to have to go and change what I'm saving to, as long as it saved that time. But you can't do that with this. If it just stops and is like, oh, you can't save anything, you can't save anything, you have to turn Shadowplay on and off, which means you lose everything because Shadowplay is turned off. Because it can then no longer remember the last 20 minutes. And it's just kind of irritating and awkward. It's just kind of... It's irritating. But anyway, enough of me ranting about Shadowplay. Actually playing the game and building things. Like I said in those 5 minutes, I'm not sure if I said it outside of it, I was kind of looking for a wardrobe type thing for this, but there isn't really a wardrobe thing in the game from what I've found in these scrolling through these menus. I haven't found a wardrobe of any kind. There is literally nothing that I can find anywhere. Like, there doesn't appear to be a wardrobe at all. So I'm trying to find currently a TV, and I've lost where it is, but I'm also looking through everything else that there is available. It's probably in like interactive items or something. It's not a container, although I was going to put down something from in this menu, I think, because I was scrolling. Oh no, it was a bin. I put a bin down because I was scrolling through that menu. I remember doing that. Fixtures. Maybe it was in here. It was. It was indeed. Unfortunately, I think there is an. I think there is an Institute TV, but I'm not entirely sure it's a TV. I think it might be like a giant wall monitor thing. I'm not entirely sure. I want to put that in here. Oh, there's acoustic paneling, you know, soundproofing. There's toilet paper, there's boxes, there's a Christmas tree. Okay, that's the wrong time of the year for a Christmas tree. That was really good. Why did I just sort of stop in the middle of saying that? But yeah, it's the wrong time of the year for a Christmas tree. I'll put a box of files on this computer. This desk. Jesus Christ. Wow. Oh. Evidently I still need more sleep. I recorded some more spooky sounds of jump scares, which I think will go out after this most likely. Because I don't want to go, like, here's a bunch of spooky sounds of jump scares thingy and horror and stuff, and not everyone is interested in horror. Most people are interested in the Fallouts and other things I've played on the channel previously. See, this is like the Institute TVs, so the monitoring banks, they don't really work. But most people seem to be interested in either like Fallout or, you know, other things I've played, Ark and that sort of thing. Not necessarily horror games, which I am actually enjoying playing spooky sounds jump scares, and if you're watching this and want to see me play a horror game for whatever reason, there are, I think, me playing 2 different horror games on the channel, one of which is not anywhere near as good as the other, and if you know anything about me, you can probably figure out which one I don't like, but spooky sounds jump scares is good, just in case you had any misconceptions. Because that is actually quite a fun horror game to play, and like I'm generally getting. Is that just still glass stuff? The glass is still there. I keep forgetting the glass is there. But yeah, it's actually quite a fun game, and if you're looking at just playing a game for like 5 minutes, it's free on Steam. Like, the game is free, it doesn't cost anything to play it. The DLC that they've brought out for it, that costs money, so if you want to experience everything, I guess you have to put some money in. But if you just want to test out the game and see if you like it, then, I mean, go right ahead. It's free to pick up and play, and I'm quite enjoying it. But as we continue on, as you've noticed, I've been sort of putting some stuff down here. We've got like a, you know, cut out figurine style thing. There's like a chair and a pot plant. I'm not necessarily assigning this place to one specific age group necessarily, but I am sort of, it feels more like a sort of maybe student-y room type thing, you know, they've got a desk and they're working on stuff and, you know, posters and things, rather than necessarily a more sort of, I don't know, grown-up room seems not the right word to use. I guess a more sort of, I forgot what the word is. Okay, I get up on that one. But essentially the room is more cluttered, I suppose. I'm still trying to figure out the word I was aiming for, and I generally can't remember. It's really irritating me now. Pardon me, I keep burping, like, I haven't actually drank anything other than water. It's really irritating me why I'm burping so much. But there you go. That's pretty much this place laid out kind of nicely. I obviously need to put some little decorations on, like shelves and stuff, maybe something above the bed, maybe something on this wall as well, or maybe something on this one or that one. Maybe not, I want to keep these walls empty, maybe that one. Maybe there'll be a clock somewhere. There needs to be a clock in this room. But yeah, that's pretty much this room done. So I'm just going to hit F9, and if I come back and start ranting and shouting, then you understand Shadowplay stopped working. Okay, Shadowplay hasn't stopped yet, although I'm keeping a close eye on it just in case it decides it wants to try and trick me and make me hate it less. Although if it tricks me, I'm going to hate it even more, so that might not work out in its favour. Instead, what appears to have happened is I opened the build menu and it seems to have frozen the game. I'm really hoping it hasn't crashed it, because if it's crashed it, then I'm going to have to redo everything I've already done. And I want really high pitch though, and I don't want to redo everything that I've just done, because I was actually quite happy with it. Oh, okay, we're back. Bethesda games, more stressful than horror games. Because every time the game slightly stutters, you immediately want to press pause and save, because you don't want to lose the last half an hour of your gameplay, because Bethesda games tend to just crash. Admittedly, installing 200 mods probably adds to the instability of the game. So it's not entirely all on Bethesda, but the game crashed a lot before I started putting mods into the game. So as far as I'm concerned, it's still Bethesda's fault. Although I do still love Bethesda because, I mean, they gave us, what, like Fallout 3, New Vegas, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4, all the expansions to all those games. They also gave us like a bunch of other Elder Scrolls games before Oblivion, none of which I've played. I think there's like 3. Because Elder Scrolls Oblivion is the 4th one, Skyrim is the 5th, yes. Morrowind's the 3rd one. I can't remember what the second one's called, and I don't remember the first one either. I think the first one might be Daggerfall, actually, and I'm pretty sure Bethesda gave it away for free at some point. But there you go. There's a history lesson in sort of Bethesda stuff, maybe. Not all of which is factually accurate. Do not take my word for any of it. But there you go. So yeah, let's get started in this room, which I end to be a little more. I'm still looking for that goddamn word, and I genuinely, it's irritating that I can't remember it. Because streamlined is not what I'm looking for. Why are the fucking carpets floating? Okay, there we go. Apparently, if you try and put a carpet near a door, it floats. Okay, let's keep the carpets away from the door. Streamlined and grown up are not the words I'm looking for, and it's really irritating I can't find the word. But essentially, I just want the room minimalist. That's the word I'm looking for. Minimalist. That's the sort of the look I'm going for this room, I feel. Less sort of cluttered and stuff everywhere, like the other room has. Which, you know, I'm trying to move my own room towards a sort of more streamlined design, less cluttered stuff everywhere. But there isn't actually much stuff everywhere in my room anyway. I just prefer my room to be slightly more clean. Well, as clean as possible, which is why I spend ages, quite often, just clearing stuff off my desk and finding new places to put everything. Which is kind of... it's not necessarily irritating, but I imagine to some people that may be irritating, that your room is constantly being moved around. So, it also irritates me when I look back around and I'm like, where was that thing? Oh, I moved it, and now I don't know where it is. That's sort of the downside of constantly moving everything around. Is you then look around for something and like, oh, it was... no, it's not there anymore. Yeah, that's the problem with doing stuff like that. But it does mean that your room looks really fucking nice half the time, because you have like everything laid out really nice and cleanly, and everything looks good. So at the same time, it's actually quite a good thing. So, you know, don't knock it. Oh, wow, this is actually...